Hello everyone, it is Erin Floto here, and I am here setting up for October. So I'm doing this a little bit early because I am moving, which I don't know if you can tell, but my whole theme for October is a mood board theme, and I'll go ahead and insert the picture of my inspiration, which is my actual mood board for my office in the new house. So I'm really excited now that I'm getting into planning out what's going into certain spaces and doing some furniture shopping and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm getting pretty excited. So I decided I wanted to do some sort of moving theme. I was originally going to go with a painting theme, but I've done a moving theme previously, and that had more to do with like paint chips and things like that. There's actually a theme for it in my shop, which is not open until October, but I thought I would let you know anyways. So this time I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different for a moving theme, so I decided to go with my mood board. So basically I am taking the inspiration from what, like the colors that I'm using for my office and how I'm setting up my office. Basically I'm coming up with everything based on the wallpaper that I'm using, and I'm able to take the wallpaper that I had in my previous office and take it with me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm excited for it. So basically everything is based on my new office. I decided to add in some little pieces of art and like things about the mood board that I want to incorporate in here, as well as some useful elements, because this is the only page that I'm having for my October setup. I did add one quote page, but I didn't film it. So I'll insert a picture of that page at the end. I already posted it on Instagram. But I thought that doing some of these quotes and doing some of these artworks along with like the desk setup that I kind of want, and then incorporating some trackers and things like that, I thought that that was the best way to go for me personally. So in this upper right hand corner, I put together an entire calendar from these little circles, and this is for self-care. So basically how I'm doing this tracker is I'm doing like a certain amount of time for my self-care, and I'm noting that with the colors that I'm using in this theme. So if I do 30 minutes of self-care, then I'll use the like the beigeish color. What color is that? It's called Rosewood, and I'm using the Karin brush markers. Do be careful using these because even in the Art Olive that's 160 GSM, these brush pens are very, very juicy, so they can ghost on the other side. And so I actually took advantage of the ghosting, and I did a quote page where I was able to cover up some of the ghosting. So that ended up working out pretty well, but don't press down as hard as I did, I guess is my point. So again, I have those 4 colors, and basically I'm just going to put a time period for each of my self-care. I have been doing the self-care bingo for a long time, so I thought and one of the reasons I always did it is because it's not broken. Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of mentality. but I thought that it would be nice to try something new to see if maybe self-care bingo is something that I can add to it instead of not doing it. So I wanted to try this out, where I'm trying to spend a little bit of time focusing on myself and then noting down that time. So moving on, I have this bookcase set up. So this is actually a smaller version of the bookcase that I have in my office. Basically, I just wanted to do a little bit of decor on here because the bottom left is so heavy for trackers that I thought doing 2 boxes next to it with primarily decorative art would work. So in this tracker section, yes, Mason, in this tracker section, I have days 1 through 31 in October. I have a section for trackers, and then I have like a mood section as well. So you can see in the first column for the numbers, it says A and P. So that's my AM mood and my PM mood. And then I have it set out 1 through 10, which is the habits that I want to track. And by the way, I am using the Micron, I think the 12 size, which is a new size from Micron. I'm also using like the 05, the 01, I believe. I think so. So that's what I decided to do for the trackers this month. I am adding a couple new trackers because in October, there's going to be a lot of like finalizing the new house. So I wanted to add a section for like doing something regarding unpacking or building out like the new furniture that I'm getting and all that kind of stuff. So this olive green is a little bit darker than one I wanted, but most of my stuff was packed away at this point. Like I'm using the brush marker instead of an ink because I didn't have my ink pads. So I did my best with what I had out still. So like I'm even using like sticky notes because I don't have washi tape out or anything. So most of my stuff is packed away. So I used the Archer and Olive stamp and the brush pen to kind of mark out the basic shape of that stamp, and then I went back in with a Micron to just tidy it up a little bit because I didn't have my inks. So then I have a very small to-do section right there. Usually I do a larger master task list, but I didn't really think it was necessary this month. So because one of the things with like the home stuff is really going to be unpack. So I didn't really think I needed a larger list, but I did want a little bit more of a minty green, but I did not have that available to me because I already packed up that Tombow marker. And I couldn't really find what I wanted in any of the other types of markers that I had. So I went with this olive green, but I think it still works overall with this theme. And to be honest, I think I'm actually probably going to make these prints. I really liked how they turned out. I think I might change the one on the right just a touch, but I do like how the one on the left turned out really well. So I think I'm actually going to make these as prints and probably put the digital download in my shop. So if you're interested, definitely check that out when it's open back on October 1st. And if you didn't hear my last plan with me, basically, I am moving on by myself. So I am putting together a new life. So I just thought that this start a new beginning would really help my mentality when it comes to starting over by myself. But I will have the animals, so that'll help. So I didn't clean that stamp before I used it again with these colors. So that was on my bad. But it ended up being fine, I think. I'm not too bothered by it. So this is where I'm talking about like being a little bit more careful when you are using these brush pens, because when I was dabbing a little bit too hard, and so it ghosted over onto the other page. But I do like how the shape of the Karin markers is to like do these little leaves. So I really wanted to take advantage of that. My wallpaper is like more coral than it is leaves, but I wanted to go a little bit simpler with the shape, so it worked out doing the little leaves like this instead of the coral. And again, I wanted to do pretty basic shapes, so I did some like little planters and I did some books, but I didn't really like make it too complicated. I just wanted it to be very simple shapes to add on as like a decorative item, because for me, like there's going to be a lot of color with everything else, because all the trackers are color based, and the self-care trackers color based, the mood tracker, all that kind of stuff. So I thought that it would be helpful to just have like the small accents around. So this bookcase system is something that I really want to do in my office, because where the space is right there would actually be a window, and because my office is a little bit different going into the new house, I won't have as much when it comes to storage. Like in my current office, I have a huge closet that, by the way, while I was packing it, I was like, how is all this stuff coming out of this closet? There's way too many boxes to move. I'm very stressed out, but overall, I don't have as much storage in the new house, because it is more like a den versus like a bedroom that I convert into an office. So I really had to make do. I have to make do with that type of mentality. So I'm going to make some changes when it comes to the storage. So I thought that getting these like modular shelves might help with all of the storage issues that I anticipate having in the new office. So in this one, I put it like there's wallpaper behind it, but hopefully that is where the window is going to be. And I'm also going to have like a second desk, I think, on the back wall. I'm not sure. It's going to take measuring and figuring out what's right. But basically, this is going to be like my main workspace, but I do want to kind of have a separate desk space to package orders. That's something that I always wanted in my current house, but I was never able to make it like a realistic thing. So hopefully I'm able to do that in the new house. And that's something that I'm excited about, is really getting a chance to customize things and start from scratch again. So I go back in and I make all of these lines using the 12. I just didn't think that the outside boxes popped enough, so I used the size 12 in the Micron to go ahead and do that. And I was tired of filming it, so I just ended up doing it. So that is my theme this month. I hope you like it. I'm really excited about it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.